Hello everyone and welcome to my channel When the Stars Aligned. Today I am making a highly requested video about service and what does it mean to really be in service. Now, recently on my Instagram I posted something about this and it got a lot of comments and curiosity, so I want to delve into this deeper. What does it mean to be in service and how being super focused on being in service can actually cockblock, can actually deter us and derail us from finding and living our true purpose and having true impact. Now, what I'm talking about here is a paradigm shift. If we look to the generations that have come before us, our parents' generation, their parents' generation, there is this huge emphasis on serving. Put others before yourself. If you're gonna do something, make sure that it's for the well-being of other people. This giving of self so that we can attain worth, validation, feeling like a good person, a good human, because we have served another. But I fully believe in my blood, bones, and guts that that is not the way forward. If we think that our purpose lies in our ability to serve another, I think we're just gonna keep riding this loop of being a martyr and a victim and not feeling truly fulfilled from within ourselves and seeking external validation to know our worth. And this is something that has been of the utmost focus in my life. I wanted to know my purpose from a very young age, probably in my mid-teens. What am I here for? What is my purpose? And I think that when we're in that question, it can be really healthy. But when we flick to, well, if I have a purpose, my purpose must be something that's serving others. And when I started getting in the path of being an artist or an entrepreneur, or whatever you want to call it, when I was 20 years old, I was so hyper-focused on service. And when I look back on it now, I can see that a lot of that was from feeling unworthy. I didn't feel worthy enough to say, I'm gonna fucking go for this path because it's what lights my soul on fire. It was like, well, I'm only gonna do that if I can really give to another. Because why would I waste my time just doing things that feel good for me? That's selfish. That's not nice. That's not being, a contributive human on this planet. Deep in my bones, I've always known that if I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling aligned, if I'm feeling like I'm fucking loving my life and what I'm doing, that can only have a positive impact on other people. Of course, if it's not causing harm or hate or breeding any kind of violence, then I'm probably all good. So this is what I'm really curious about because I know it in myself and I can see it in others. I want to serve, I want to give. And what I can hear behind those pleas is a crippling self-worth. Not feeling good enough in yourself to empower yourself and do things that feel good for you so that you can step forth as this radiant being in whatever way that looks like for you, and then through osmosis have an impact. That it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be a fucking janitor, you could be a teacher, you could be a mom, you could be the head of the UN. If you are lit from within on your own juice, on your own empowerment, on your own God-given righteous worth, no matter what you do, you're gonna have an impact. So this is what I'm really curious about. Maybe we need to stop focusing on how can I serve the world and instead, how can I serve myself? How can I serve myself to know my worth without any validation? Even if I'm fucking exiled, even if I lose my friends, I lose my job, I lose my community, don't put yourself in physical danger, but sometimes we have to be stripped away of everything that we've thought that we are and all of these stories that we've put on ourselves in order to feel validation. I know I'm worthy because I'm really smart. I know I'm worthy because I've got really good style. I know I'm worthy because I do this really well or that really well. But is it serving your soul? And yeah, maybe there's something that you're doing that you're like, well, I know it has such a good impact on others, but is it having a good impact on you? It's all vibrational. And if we're doing something purely because we want to affect another, but we're not aligned with it inside of ourselves, our hearts and souls aren't beating for it, it's a lie. And whether it's in 2 months or 10 years or in your next lifetime, it's gonna come back. It's gonna say, hey, remember that time when you sacrificed your soul to prove your worth and to feel accepted and validated, even though it wasn't in alignment with you? Hey, remember that? Let's make that better. And now we have the opportunity right now collectively. And there is so much happening collectively. I can imagine you all can feel it. We are going into some really powerful times and we can't avoid these things anymore. Things are coming up quick. Karma's coming up quick. Backlashes are coming up quick. And we can either ignore those signs and turn our head, or we can say, okay, let me take this on. So here's my invitation, because I know I'm sharing a lot here and it can sound like, what do I do? Here's a step forward that you can take. Choose for you. Choose things that empower you, that light you up from within. Be selfish. Be the most fucking glorious kind of selfish you can be, which is making sure that you are on good terms with yourself. So we're given this chance to look at our lives, at our relationships, at our career paths and say, am I showing up as myself here, or some projected image of what I think I should be so that I can receive validation? And this is that service trip, that trap, this tricky, sticky puddle of service. I want to serve, I want to give, I want to make an impact on the world. Great. Why don't you become the impact rather than trying to externally find a way to impact or project an impact? If you are embodied in your cells, it's not even like you have to know what you're on this planet for in order to be embodied. It's about putting yourself first, looking at your shadows, looking at your light, looking at the parts you love about yourself, looking at the parts you don't love about yourself, finding acceptance, being able to breathe into all of that, knowing your worth, knowing that if something feels good for you, you can do it. If it feels good in your heart, and if it feels good in your bones and soul, to live that and breathe that and do that. And then we start leading by example, and we're not serving anybody. We're not caught in this martyrhood of making sure that you're having a contribution in order to feel good about yourself. You feel good about yourself as you are because all the boxes are checked. There aren't any unticked boxes. You're like, yep, okay, that part of me, I love her. That part of me, I love him. Yep, that part of me that's really tricky, okay, I can have space for him. And then you walk through the world carrying that presence, having impact. And I highly guarantee you that if you are, it's from my own life experience, if you are struggling to find, you're like, what's my purpose and what are the things that light me up? It's probably because you're so bogged down with so many things that aren't you. So I invite you to make a list. Where are the places in your life where you feel you are most out of alignment? And you will know because you will feel it in your body. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your sexual relationships. Maybe it's your romantic relationships. Maybe it's your family. And then invite yourself, how can I be more of myself here? And be okay if that's accepted or not accepted. Because it's until we can get comfortable with the fact that people may not like us and people are going to have opinions about us that we may not enjoy, until we can chew that up, spit it out, and extract that it actually doesn't matter because you're just vibrationally realigning. So with this service, it's a beautiful thing to want to be in service, and I'm not trying to dilute that. But what I want to do is I want to get to the root beneath it. I want to go deep. I want to dig and see, why do you want to be in service? Do you like giving to others because it gives you this feeling of being a good person? What if you couldn't do that? What are those feelings you're left with? Insecurity, shame, depletion, resentment, jealousy, anger, rage. That's where your service is going to come from when you see that and you don't try to mask it and you don't try to run from it. You say, this is me. So how can I love all of me? And how can I be in a way where I know my worth? And I don't need anyone else to validate that for me. Then we can serve. And then we will attract to us the positions that are aligned with our soul contract, where we can share that message. But if we're not aligned with our soul contract, if we're just hiding and putting on these projections and these plays to try to prove our worth, we're never going to get those opportunities to step up. Because life is like, hey, I don't really know what you're doing here. Sure, let's try that, but you're not fulfilled. Sure, let's try that, but you're not fulfilled. It's until you find that fulfillment within yourself, that righteous worth within yourself, as you are, that life is going to present it to you. Be like, wow, okay, thanks for aligning your vibration. Can you please share on this platform? Can you please step up in this way? How about you take on this position? Or you'll choose it yourself. You don't really have to know those details because it won't matter. When you feel that worth deep within your gut, you pull out all of those seeds and roots and weeds of having to self-sacrifice in order to be worthy. When you pull out all that shit and you see that you are good as you are a creature of God, goddess, divine, whatever you want to call it, that is your birthright, to get in touch with that part of you, everything else will align right before your eyes. and it'll feel fucking fantastic, even if it's hard. And that's the thing, we're not just here to chase those good feeling emotions. Oh, I'm a good human, I'm in service. Oh, I did that, that feels good. Oh no, now I'm like this is awful. It's all of it. We are all of it. Think of some of those people who have had some of the shittiest upbringings in life and how incredibly inspiring they are now. Do you think a fairy godmother just crossed their path and said, hey, here you go, here's your, you paid your dues, you suffered, now you get to win? No, it's by finding that worth deep within, by finding what really matters in our guts and living that. That is service in my eyes. So that's my little download for today. I would love to hear your thoughts about this and if you've had experience with this, and I think that there'll be more to come. So thanks for tuning in.